I personally have been dealing with depression at a young age, not knowing how much it affected me and my actions and who I am as a person. At a very young age, I would say 14, 15, I had suicidal thoughts and tried to commit suicide once. And when I look back at it, it was the most, the darkness that I felt over something that was so small and, you know, just middle school stuff or high school stuff, just petty stuff. I just felt like nothing was ever in my favor. I felt like everything was always against me. I always had to work 10 times harder than anyone else, and every time when I wanted something, I didn't get it in that sense. And it was hard to express myself and be vocal about my depression or be vocal about my suicidal thoughts, because I grew up in a family that, you know, you had to be strong. It wasn't instilled in me verbally that you can't cry or you can't be depressed, but just from my surroundings of my family, we all had to be strong. Everything that we went through, if my mother went through something or my siblings went through something or my father went through something, we just had to keep going. You know, I didn't see my mom. I've seen my mom cry probably once in my lifetime, and that was when I was in college. I barely have seen any of my family members cry or express emotions of sadness or weakness. So anytime I had a depression moment or I felt depressed or felt like giving up, I just had to keep going. In college was probably the darkest times. I lost my aunt to cancer my freshman year in college. My sophomore year in college, I lost my grandmother. My junior year in college, I lost my boyfriend. And then my senior year in college, I lost my father. And it was just one thing after another. And I wanted to give up. I was depressed, but I couldn't cry because it's how I was raised. Like, we just keep going. It sucks. We talk about how much it sucks, but we just keep going. It's not really a thing to go see a therapist. Like, we just keep going. And years went by, and I realized I covered up so much and had so much depression that I covered up, and it affected who I was as a person. Until I found God, and it opened up a lot of myself and a lot of the things I buried, and I healed. I've been healing through that, and it's amazing. And the one thing about not being silent is that now that I actually talk about this, it's helping people. It's truly helping people every time I tell a part of my story. And I was always afraid, because why am I going to tell people I was suicidal? Why am I going to tell people how much pain I went through? Because that's weakness. I'm not going to show anybody my weakness. I'm a strong, independent woman. Like, I'm not going to show anybody that. But that moment I opened the door and started talking about it to people, I've already helped so many people just sharing my story. I've already touched people's lives just sharing my story and letting them know that you can overcome it, that you can seek help, that it's okay to be depressed, that it's okay to be sad, whatever it is, it's okay. It's just, you gotta seek help. So I stand here and say that I will no longer be silent, and hope that my story will help influence people. Yeah, that's what I got.